Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth again. Yet in this video, we are going to be talking specifically about how to fill in the bestiary, as well as discover 16 creatures and assess them as necessary for Chadley's intel. Now, this is going to be covering the Grasslands section of the game. I am not going to cover any parts of the Mithril Mine. This is only going to be within Chapter 2 of the game. Now, small, itty-bitty spoilers will follow. So, if you're not up to that point in the game, I suggest just clicking off the video and come back when you are up to that point, and if you need a little help to discover the creatures. So, starting off, we're going to talk about the Grasslands Wolf. Now, the Grasslands Wolf can be discovered southwest of Oliver's farm, and it'll be alongside an orc. And one of the cool parts about this is that there are many locations for the Grasslands Wolf to spawn. It's very easy to take out. The only thing you have to watch out for is its throat clamp ability, which will definitely throw a wrench in your plans, but provided you can switch to another character as quickly as possible and take that out, then you have nothing to worry about here. Now, use some character like Tifa or even Red 13, who doesn't do a ton of damage, but builds up stagger very quickly and also will charge their ATB. I would either equip Assess to them or equip it to Cloud, and then you will be able to very easily assess this creature. Moving on, we are going to talk about the Toxirat. Now, the Toxirat can be found in many locations, but one of my favorites is southwest of Bill's Ranch. Now, once you get to Bill's Ranch, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, just southwest of that area. And you will find it roaming with a moo, which we will get to in a minute. But the Toxirat is very easy to take out. If anything, charge your ATB on the moo, and then turn around and use Assess. If you have it leveled up, you can use Assess on both creatures, but if you only have it at level 1, that's okay. Just level up your ATB gauge on the moo, and then assess the Toxirat. Toxirat's very easy to take out, almost too easy, and you might even kill it before you're able to assess it. That's okay. There are many more spawn locations for the Toxirat across the map. Moving on with our base level creatures, we're next going to talk about the Levrikon. Now, the Levrikon is a very strange bird. It's almost ostrich-like. It looks like some kind of subspecies of the chocobo, perhaps, in this universe. And you'll find one running around on a dirt path by itself, just southeast of Bill's Ranch, just like I talked about a minute ago. And I will mark the location on the map in the game, and I'll show you that. So then, after that, you're able to go and find the Levrikon. It's very easy to take out. One thing you do need to watch out for, it's very quick. It'll chain its own attacks to each other, which prevents you from using abilities very easily. You might want to equip Assess on somebody outside of who you're controlling. So if you're controlling Cloud, you might want to equip it on someone like Barrett, and then wait for his ATB to charge up, maybe just guard a couple times while you wait, and wait for Barrett's ATB, and then Assess. Very simple. Next, we'll talk about that moo, and we'll go back to the gameplay from before, except this time we're going to be focusing on taking out the moo. Now, you can take out the Toxirat, but maybe that won't charge your ATB enough. So if you have to, get in a couple hits on the moo. Try to avoid letting your party members focus it, and you'll be able to assess it fairly quickly. They do tend to hide underground, and you want to use wind abilities and try to avoid its stone attack, but other than that, should be an easy fight. Next up, we have the Mandragora. Now, the Mandragora is very interesting. It's a little onion-like creature, and it should be located east of Calm, so it would be one of the very first creatures that you run into when you're playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and you enter Chapter 2. Now, the Mandragora is very strange. It's weak to both fire and ice, being a plant, so it's a little bit easier to take out than most would assume. It is traveling typically with an orc or other Mandragoras in other areas of the map, so what you can do is just charge up your ATB on the orc, turn around, and assess the Mandragora. Next up, we're going to talk about the Elphadunk. Now, the Elphadunk is typically a docile creature in the lore of Final Fantasy VII, but in this case, this one is aggressive, and they can be found actually to the east of one of your excavation intels, provided that you've seen all of the towers. It's also northwest of the Forgotten Treads cache. So I will mark it on the map in the gameplay, and you will see exactly where it's at. There will be 2 Elphadunks here, and because they have so much health and so many blocking capabilities, it'll be very easy to charge up your ATB and assess these enemies. Now, they don't take much to take out. When you're at a lower level, it might be a little bit more difficult. You might want to play more strategic, use a few more blocks in there, but otherwise it should be very easy to take out. Now, the orc. We've been through several locations with other creatures, and a lot of them are accompanied by an orc, such as the Grasslands Wolf and the moo. But in this case, the orc we can find running around actually with a Grasslands Wolf, It'll be southwest of Oliver's farm. I'll mark it on the map in the gameplay, and you'll be able to see it. Now, the orc is very easy to take out. I would focus the Grasslands Wolf if you're going to use this particular location, and I would make sure that you come in prepared. Really, just make sure that the Grasslands Wolf doesn't throat clamp you too much, and you should be able to assess the orc fairly easily. Up next, we're going to talk about the two variants of the Grasslands Wolf, which are higher leveled and a little bit more difficult to take out and find. So first, we'll talk about the Thunderclaw. Now, the Thunderclaw is only found inside of one of the Fiend Intel missions. It is the Voltaic Canine mission, and you'll find that northwest of the activation intel for the Wastelands Tower, and you'll find it to the southwest of Calm. More west than south, but still. It's over in the desert area to the west of Calm, and you will find it pretty easily. The Thunderclaw does have a lot of HP. It attacks very quickly, so it should be easy to build up your ATB and assess it fairly quickly. Up next, we're going to talk about the White Terror. Now, I was not able to get gameplay of this because I wasn't aware that it was going to be one of 16 creatures in the grasslands that would be very difficult to get intel on. However, I did manage to assess it, so no concern here. But as long as you assess it while you're doing the side quest it's part of, there should be no issues. Now, it is exclusive to the Livestock's Bane side quest. Once you're able to go back to Calm, you should be able to go to the notice board and pick up the Livestock's Bane side quest. Now, this will be found on the beach. It'll be east of the Fiend Intel 1, which we will talk about in a minute. And it will just be on this beach area, and you will see it, and you'll fight it, and you'll assess it. It has a lot of HP similar to the Thunderclaw, and it should be very easy to take out. Up next, we're going to talk about that prior Fiend Intel, which is going to be the Venorat. It's actually very close to the ranch. It's very close to the White Terror. It's right above that beach to the left, and it's going to be up on a hill, and you have to trek there yourself. In my case, I can fast travel there since I've already done it, but it's going to be northwest of Bill's ranch. And now the Venorat is a little bit more health than the Toxirat. Typically, when you fight a Venorat, there's going to be several. So just charge up your ATB on one. If you kill it, no big deal. You should have enough ATB to assess a separate one. Next, we're going to talk about the Aggrevrikon. Now, this is the upgraded form of the Levrikon, and similar to the Levrikon, it is very aggressive. I think later on in battle, it casts haste on itself, and it is part of Fiend Intel 5, which is Picky Eater. You're going to actually find this nearby to where you found the Thunderclaw. It will be just south of that, and you will see it on the map in the desert area, more to the southeast, I suppose. And you will find it in the desert area to the west of Calm, more south of Calm than west in this case. And yeah, it should be pretty easy. It's got a lot of HP, so it should be easy to charge up your ATB and assess it. Next, we're going to talk about the Me. This is the upgraded form of the Moo, and it is exclusive to the Fiend Intel 3 Keepers of the Burrow. It is west of the abandoned dock, and it will be part of where you find a chocobo, and you end up tracking down chocobos in order to train one up and use it in order to cross the water. Now, this Me is very strange. The Me are all strange because they are either fire or ice element. They can change in battle. So when you fight them, if they're red, they're the fire element and weak to ice. If they are blue or white, they are the ice element and they are weak to fire. So you can use this to your advantage using maybe one of the new Fiery Impulse type abilities that they have in the game. And without using MP, you can actually pressure them. And this will also build your ATB quicker, and it will allow you to assess these fairly quickly. There should be 2 or 3 of them when you go to do this, so there should be no problem to assess them. Next, we're going to talk about the Mandrake. Now, the Mandrake is exclusive to the Fiend Intel 4 Wailing Weed, and you will find this southeast of Calm, just west of the activation intel for the Plains Tower. Now, this will be very easy to do, as the Mandrake is just an upgraded form of the Mandragora. It's also weak to fire and ice, as far as I'm aware, and it should be easy to charge up your ATB and assess it. Next, we're going to talk about the Enmidunk, which is actually the upgraded form of the Elphadunk, and it is only in the Fiend Intel 2 Bearer of Grudges. It's located all the way in the southeast of the grasslands on that little peninsula, and it will be just south of the activation intel tower. Now, these are very strange, as they're just upgraded forms of the Elphadunk, but they're red instead of blue, which is fun, I guess. It's mostly just a retexture, honestly, which I have no problems with. I'd rather they reuse assets and make a good game. But that's just me. Now, the Enmidunk is very easy because it's got a ton of health. It'll be very easy to charge your ATB. You just need to watch out for a lot of its charging attacks. It should be very easy to assess. One of the last few we're going to talk about is the Noxicap. Now, the Noxicap is exclusive to the Lifeline and Peril side quest, which is picked up by speaking to the Mayor of Calm in Calm's Plaza after you unlock Calm again once you've reached the Chocobo Ranch. Now, the Noxicap is very, very weird. I don't like looking at it. It's a mushroom-like creature with about 4 mouths on each side for a total of, I think, 12 mouths. It's a parasitic spore, and they seem to be some kind of evolution of Mako poisoning. Now, I did not manage to get gameplay of the Noxicap. However, the Noxicap is very easy to take out. You'll find it near burst Mako pipes after helping out the mercenary Kyrie. And when you're fighting the Noxicap, just watch out for a lot of the status effects that it throws at you. Should be really easy to just build up your ATB and end up using Assess. Now, upon finishing recording, and if I've managed to miss anything, I will add it in where it belongs. But this should be the last one we're going to talk about today, and that's going to be the Quetzalcoatl. Now, the Quetzalcoatl is exclusive to the classified intel, which I cannot pronounce, and it becomes available after interacting with the 4 life springs of the Grasslands. It's located east of the Expedition Intel 6 over in the desert area, due southwest of Calm. And the Quetzalcoatl is a very tough foe. It's some kind of griffin-like creature, and it tends to be both in the air and on the ground at different times in the battle. Now, one thing you can do is utilize some of Cloud's abilities, such as Triple Slash and Braver, that are more focused towards hitting enemies directly and don't require a whole lot of aiming or self-control. And you can build up your ATB fairly quickly and turn around and assess this creature. Now, just one thing to watch out for, I'm pretty sure it's weak to wind abilities, and it should be very easy to just use wind abilities over and over again. Typically, they pull the enemy towards you, so it should keep it within range and make it very easy to take out the Quetzalcoatl. Now, if this video did help you, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe. Let me know which creatures you're having trouble finding. If there is any assistance I can offer, I will down in the comments. And be sure to have a great day. I hope you all are enjoying Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This should not be the only video of this type on this channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.